Speaking section. The speaking section tests your ability to communicate in English in an academic setting. During the test, you will be presented with 4 speaking questions. The questions ask for a response to a single question, a talk, or a lecture. The prompts and questions are presented on time. You may take notes as you listen, but notes are not graded. You may use your notes to answer the questions. Some of the questions ask for a response to a reading passage and a talk or a lecture. The reading passages and the questions are written, but the directions will be spoken. Your speaking will be evaluated on both the fluency of the language and the accuracy of the content. You will have 15 to 20 seconds to prepare and 45 to 60 seconds to respond to each question. Typically, a good response will require all of the response time and the answer will be complete by the end of the response time. You will have about 17 minutes to complete the speaking section. A clock on the screen will show you how much time you have to prepare each of your answers and how much time you have to record each response.
You will now be asked a question about a familiar topic. After you hear the question, you will have 15 seconds to plan your response and 45 seconds to speak.
Do you agree or disagree that students learn more effectively through group projects compared to working alone?
You will now read a short passage and then listen to a conversation on the same topic. You will then be asked a question about the passages. After you hear the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak. You have 45 seconds to read the passage below.
Listen to 2 students discussing this article.
Ugh. This new 3-day borrowing limit for bikes is kind of annoying. What if I want to take a weekend trip?
I understand the frustration, but I actually think it's a good change. Remember how last semester there were always bikes missing? A shorter borrowing period means more bikes available for everyone. At State University, they have a similar system with weekly check-ins, and it seems to work well.
Yeah, I guess more availability is a plus. But what about the ID deposit? That seems like a hassle.
It might seem inconvenient, but it discourages theft, right? Think about it. If someone steals a bike, they lose their ID. That's a big deterrent. Honestly, I'd rather leave my ID as a deposit than deal with a stolen bike.
The woman expresses her opinion about the proposal described in the letter. Briefly summarize the proposal. Then state her opinion about the proposal and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
You will now read a short passage and then listen to a lecture on the same topic. You will then be asked a question about the passage. After you hear the question, you have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak. You have 45 seconds to read the passage below. You may begin reading now.
Now listen to part of a lecture in an ecology class. Today we'll discuss carrying capacity, a crucial concept in understanding population dynamics. Simply put, it's the maximum population size an environment can support in the long term. This limit depends on resource availability. Let's consider an example, a beautiful island ecosystem teeming with rabbits. Initially, the rabbit population thrives as there's an abundance of food and plants. However, as the rabbit population increases, it means more mouths to feed, the plants diminish, which causes food scarcity. This leads to competition and ultimately starvation. Reducing the rabbit population. This boom and bust cycle illustrates how exceeding carrying capacity disrupts the balance within an ecosystem. Another example is overfishing. If too many fish are caught, which exceeds sustainable limits, there are fewer fish to reproduce, which reduces population. Fish stocks eventually decline, impacting the entire marine ecosystem.
Explain how the example from the professor's lecture illustrates the concept of carrying capacity.
You will now listen to part of a lecture. You will then be asked a question about it. After you hear the question, you will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Listen to part of a lecture in a business management class.
Today we'll discuss franchising, a popular business model with numerous advantages for aspiring entrepreneurs. Franchising essentially allows you to operate a business under an established brand's name. There are two key benefits to consider: reduced risk and access to proven business models. Let's take a look at reduced risk. Starting a business from scratch involves a lot of uncertainty. With franchising, you're leveraging the experience and success of an existing brand. Imagine you want to open a coffee shop. An established coffee franchise provides a predefined business model, products, marketing, operations, that has already been proven successful. This reduces the risk of failure often associated with new ventures. Secondly, franchising grants access to valuable resources and expertise. Most franchisors offer extensive training and ongoing support to their franchisees. This can include marketing assistance, operational guidance, and supplier connections. For instance, a fast food franchise might provide comprehensive training manuals, marketing campaigns, and established relationships with food distributors. This support system empowers franchisees to hit the ground running and operate their business effectively.
Using the examples from the lecture, explain 2 ways that franchising can benefit aspiring entrepreneurs.